Hello there, dudes. What's up, HW? I think this is the amp of 2024 for me. For me personally, it's the amp of 2024. It's I call it the 65JM BMKR. It's the blues maker. Now, if you never heard of these, there was a dude named John McIntyre. I first ran into his amps in Kansas City when I was making some profiles for my buddies at JHS, which you may heard from Ross Pedal fame, the company behind the infamous Ross pedals. Basically, Josh had a Johnny McIntyre, or a Johnny Mac Bassman, as I started calling it. But basically, they're modified bassements. Now, I did some research into these. It looks like this guy put EL34s in them and made them into something called the Blues Maker. It looks like he modified a bunch, and then later they were called the Blues Maker amp and stuff. And mine is a little different than Josh's, it looks like. And mine is a little bit different than a schematic I found that was supposedly a modded Bandmaster the guy had done. And so they don't have a lot of markings on them except for some signatures on the back and inside and stuff. But, you know, it looks just like a regular basement. There's a photo of it right here for the pack that we put out. And, you know, it just looks like it. But under the hood, there's a lot going on. There's EL34s, which is not what you would expect in there. But that's, I think, part of what gives it a little more of this Marshall sound. The two channels work together. It's a one-channel amp now, basically. But I shot 3 channels for the purpose of just giving you everything. So I kind of consider it like push fender, a mid-forward Marshall, and like a 70s Plexi Crunch. And I kind of set up the EQs that way. So what I was playing up front was like the 70s Plexi Crunch. And I'm going through the H speaker, which I think is a really good speaker, because you can really clean this up, you know? Gives it plenty of highs and lows. Man, that's a juice. That's why they call that thing the Blues Maker, brother. Let me tell you right there. And I got these pickups rolled back just a little bit. Whoo! These are Lambertone Lambertrons, sounding like they cost $1 million, but I think they're only like, I don't know, maybe they're $300 for the pair. Really not sure. That sounds incredible. Now, if I roll that up and I'm on the neck, you can hear a little more sizzle, a little more top endiness that reminds me of that Marshall flavor. I would think that's a Marshall. I really would. Yeah, for sure. That's Marshall territory. And then, you know, you can just... I mean, that's Marshall-esque, Marshall E. It's a little different. But it might be that H speaker, right? So that's where that's where it's like all on the gainy side, you know? That's a free sound, but the other free sound is this one. It's a lot more polite. And both these should be in your emails if y'all are signed up. If not, sign up and I'll send them again, or I'll make them downloadable and stuff, and you'll be able to download them. But here's the much more polite sound, and this is the M speaker now, the Marshall speaker, or the Marshall cabinet that I've got with some old greenbacks in it. some amps just sound like they're big. They sound like they're 100 watts. This one's not 100 watts, but I would think that was like there are times when I would think this is a 100-watt Marshall rather than a 50-watt Fender. And that's what makes the mod so cool. It's just a killer blues rock amp. And this is on the cleaner, like more Fender-y side, And if I just clean it up slightly, it just has a great sound. It really brings out the sound of this guitar, Great sound. Channel 2, I tried to make it... it reminds me of my Purple Plexi a little bit. Like it reminds me of my 68 Purple Plexi a little bit. So I went for like a more mid-forward Marshall. And it's what it really is the Marshall side and the Fender side sort of blended together, or the cleaner side and the gainier side sort of blended together. And to me, this one is more, it reminds me of just like a 60s Marshall, like a vintage Marshall that's not as gainy, not like the 70s Crunch, which is like what I did for Channel 3. But you get a really cool, I don't know. That just sounds like a really nice, rolled off, mid-range forward type thing. And on the bridge, you get a little more aggression. Probably my favorite sound, though, is kind of like that one I gave you, but I'm just going to up the gain a little bit. And here's 3/4, but with the H speaker. This is very similar to the free one. Yeah, man. It's so like a Marshall, but a little different. It's like the beef bacon of Marshall amps. You're like, wait a minute. I know what bacon tastes like. What the hell is beef bacon? And then you buy it because you listen to the Guitar Friends podcast, shameless plug, and you've been hearing HW say, y'all, go to the store and try and get beef bacon. It tastes delicious. They salt it, they cure it, they might even hickory smoke it like bacon, but it's actually beef. I kind of like it better. I don't know. Just a mood I'm in. Go check these out, man. This might be one. I just love unique amps when they come about. You know what I mean? And it's so rare you find something that's really so unique. And I bought this Bassman going, oh, I remember how cool that was in Kansas City. But honestly, I don't even know that I realized how much gain it had. And I don't know that I really quite understood the whole amp, because when I profiled the last one, I didn't have the opportunity to really understand. So I was just kind of moving knobs till it sounded good. But mine wasn't labeled. So I had to go do some digging. And then I felt like I really understood the thing. Anyway, throw a boost in front of this. It'll sound really good too. So I'm going to do that. So here is my Here's my little Clonny thing in front of the amp. Clonny? Sounds like a guy I knew in college. I've been HW. Later. See, that was the only time in my life I've ever thought, man, I wish a guitar had a kill switch.